Hey, what's going on, guys? Doing 2 videos for this channel in 2 days. Holy shit. Maybe I'm coming back. Maybe I'm motivated. All right. What I want to touch on is this. A lot of people are sending me their macronutrient breakdowns, and they're asking me to adjust them for them. I don't do that, and I'm not going to do that over social media. I'm not going to do it over YouTube. And the reason why I'm not going to do it is not because you're not paying me money. The reason why I'm not going to do it is because I don't have enough information to analyze you. I don't have enough information to analyze you. All right? And I'm not going to fucking blow smoke up your ass and say, hey, I know your problem. You adjust your macros like this and do my special diet so you can come pay me money and then work with me. No, I'm not going to do that. The way I've always worked, even when I was training people, is I would take down every bit of data about them. I'd take down their weight. I'd look at what time they woke up, what time they went to sleep. I would look at their previous diet for the previous month. I would see what kind of nutrients they were taking into their body. I would break everything down by the case. I would analyze how much stress they had in their life. And then I would create not only a macronutrient breakdown, I would determine what micronutrients they needed in their diet. Sometimes I would look at their blood. Sometimes I would look at or ask them about the consistency and the color of their poop, right? My point is this, and I'm not saying you have to do this, and I'm not training anybody online anymore, so I just don't do that anymore. I run a clothing company now, all right? But my point is this. I'm noticing patterns, right, from the people who do send me their macronutrient breakdowns. And I will say that 70 to 80% of them have a macronutrient breakdown that looks like this. 400 to 450 milligrams of carbs, or not milligrams. I'm thinking about something else right now. Oh my God. Juice. No, I'm not doing that right now either. But 400 to 450 grams of carbs, 200 to 250 grams of protein, and then 60 grams of fat. Everybody likes to do 60 grams of fat, no more, but they know they have to get some fat in there, but they're scared to put it in there, so they go with 60 grams. And almost everybody who emails me their macro breakdowns has that macro breakdown. And I know there's a lot of you out there who aren't emailing me who have it too. You know, want to know how I know that? Because that's a macro breakdown presented by some of the most popular fitness YouTube channels on the internet. Right? That's because people like to follow people. People like to look at the shredded abs. They like to look at the muscular physiques and they say, I want that, so I'm going to do that macronutrient breakdown. I'm going to do whatever that person says because they created this special diet and it applies to every single one of us. But here's the thing. We know that it's not working for everybody. It's probably working for about half of you. I'm not talking shit about the macronutrient breakdown. You know what? If that's working for you, and I know it's working for some people, then keep going with it. But if it's not working for you, if it hasn't worked for you, if you did it for 3 months and it worked for a while and then it stopped working, you have to start considering something. You have to start thinking about manipulating things. Just like I said yesterday, one thing at a time, right? Maybe you lower the carbohydrates a little bit just to see what happens, like 20 to 50 grams a week, gradually, so that you don't mess with your body, so you don't lose those gains. Maybe you just mess with the protein for a little bit, right? And you see, maybe I'm taking in too much protein, and that old 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight thing is just a complete lie, and I don't really need that much, and maybe it's causing gluconeogenesis in my body, and maybe that's adding to my fat stores. I don't know, these are just things that pop into my head sometimes, right? Never read about those, never did my own research, never studied peer-reviewed scientific journals or anything like that. But maybe you should be. Maybe you should be looking beyond YouTube. Maybe you should be looking beyond social media. Maybe that 60 grams of fat and that 450 grams of carbohydrates has your energy system screwed up. Maybe you're not insulin sensitive because you're eating so much fucking carbohydrate. I'll never know. And I'm never going to give you specific advice. And everything I just said doesn't necessarily pertain to you. You're never going to know that either unless you try. And I guess what I'm saying here is that a lot of you have a lot of fear, a lack of confidence. And that lack of confidence comes from a lack of education. And that lack of education comes from a lack of variety of the sources of information that you're getting. So in addition to watching YouTube for entertainment, things like that, there's a few places I definitely recommend you start listening to. One, if you're looking for awesome fitness information and health information, right? It's not just getting jacked, fucking jacked like a motherfucker. Information. Check out Ben Greenfield. Ben Greenfield is one of the most knowledgeable people on the planet. Is he a huge jacked motherfucker? No, but he's one of the best athletes as far as Spartan races and triathlons go, and he's probably the most knowledgeable person about the human body in the fitness industry today. So check out the Ben Greenfield Fitness Podcast. Really great opportunity to try to make yourself a bit smarter. If you're interested in ketosis, I put out a pamphlet not too long ago. I'm only charging $5 for it. I didn't even put graphics on the thing. It's called A Bodybuilder's Diet Guide to Ketogenic Dieting. If you want to check that out, you can check that out. But there's a far better book out there that's called The Art and Science of Low Carbohydrate Performance, and another book called The Art and Science of Low Carbohydrate Living by Drs. Jeff Volek and Stephen Finney. If you want to check that out, you can check those out. If you're interested in veganism, and you want to go down that route, that's not a route I will ever talk shit about, because honestly, vegan diets work. Rich Roll is an amazing athlete who has done super ultra marathons, and guess what? He's not a stick figure. He's not a stick figure at all. Guy's jacked, and he does ultra marathons. Maybe not fucking jacked, but he's super healthy, does ultra marathons, vegan. Go check him out. You know, there's places out there where if you search hard enough, you can find some amazing information. And I guess I just want everybody to stop conforming and to start thinking for themselves, to start thinking for themselves and experimenting for themselves, and not to listen to everything that they hear here on YouTube, because it's your body, it's your life, right? Why would you just keep sticking with something that's not working because it's the popular thing to do? Why would you continually go on this quest and make yourself run around in circles constantly because some popular guy on YouTube says it's supposed to work when it doesn't, right? And again, I'm not saying that it doesn't work for all of you, because a lot of this stuff works for a lot of you. But for those of you who aren't, there's a simple thing that applies, and that's that not everybody's built differently. Not everybody's built the same. Everybody has different hormonal levels. Everybody has different nutrient deficiencies that they need to look at. And there was nothing special about me. My clients got great results. Have I screwed up some people? Yeah, I think I've had some failures, but I've had some great successes. And the greatest successes I've had came because I was actually paying attention to the person's lifestyle, paying attention to the stress levels, paying attention to their sleep levels, paying attention to the different facets and factors that went into this great amalgam of things that produced their results. Not just what they were doing in the gym, but what they were doing with their life. And if you want results, start paying attention to that stuff too, and not just a fucking set of macros. All right? We'll see you guys all later, and if you got any questions, just hit me up.